Preparing, setting up for your YouTube live. Okay, there we go. We are live. I'm
All
live.
right. All right. So you ready to roll? You ready to hop
Yes.
into this thing?
Yes,
All
sir.
right. Let's do it. Let me go ahead and what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another live stream. Today we have a special one because I am joined by the one and only Mr. Will Wonders from Quiverful Productions. What's going on, bro?
What is up? It's been a long time coming,
I
bro. I'll
know
tell
we've
you that much.
We've been talking about doing something together for a minute. Let me make sure that we are good. I want to make sure everything that we can hear. Let me know in the comments if y'all can't hear anything. I'm going to get this right so we can see us big. Bear with us. We had to figure out how to get this situation working. But what's going on, bro? How you been doing?
I've been doing great, man. Just getting ready to get married in June.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, that's been a big change and looking at how to do that and transition from shooting all my own stuff to to letting somebody else shoot, which
Yeah, I
you
know
know who
that's
that
probably
is.
yeah. So in reference to his wedding, I'm actually going to be shooting for Will for his wedding. We've shot a couple weddings together before. So talking about weddings, I thought it'd be cool if we kind of talked about that a little bit. With both of us having worked together, both having separate experience doing weddings. Let me just make sure volume is good on this. I think we're
Yeah.
good. All right. If y'all can't hear
Check
anything,
one, check two.
just let
Yep.
me know. Make sure I can hear Will. But I
Check
think we're
one, check
good.
two. Check one, check
Good thing the
two.
stream is so far behind. But yeah, if y'all can't hear us, let me know and I'll get it. I'll fix it. Um, but yeah, so how about you just kind of before we get into it,
Mhm.
talk about how you got into the videography, filmmaking space. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, it first started with my mom. She was in charge of the drama guild in church, writing plays, and I always followed her and knew everybody's lines. So I thought I was going to do acting and preaching, all this stuff. And unbeknownst to me, um, I didn't book a lot,
Mm,
but what happened was all my friends that were actors, I would direct them in their monologues. And every time I did that, they would all book.
mm,
And it was like, hmm.
directing skills.
Right. So maybe I think I made a decision then that I would be somebody who creates the jobs,
Mm,
and then
yeah.
and that's how it's always been. From that moment on. Started off with photography, shooting f-stop 4, thinking I'm killing it. And then I went to school and realized that there was a lot I had to learn. And I soaked it up like a sponge. And I
Mm,
ended up working for MTV for 8 years as an assistant editor and on the Teen Mom franchise. And then 3 years ago, I moved to Virginia Beach and ended up working for CBN.
shout
So,
out VA, shout out CBN. Y'all probably heard me reference it somewhat, but that's how we met. We both work at the same company. Uh, so I guess one of the things too, though, how do you? Because I kind of feel like I always had to deal with this too, and I
mhm,
feel like your answer is going to be kind of similar to mine. But like being someone who has multiple abilities, you know what I mean? Like, how do you like see
mhm.
yourself? Because like primarily on the job, you do a lot of shooting. I mean, you edit too, but like you do. I feel like most people view you as like the go-to camera guy at work. So
Yeah.
like, how do you balance like in your mindset of like how I portray with other people, but then also doing other things that you have other aspects to your creativity as well?
I like it. It's something
Mm,
I think even for a while, I think I was prided myself on it. was being somebody who was multifaceted. Plus, I think for me, it's like I love learning new things.
Yeah.
When it comes to camera and editing, like I can like, oh wow, I can learn this, I can learn that. So being in being like that has always put me in a place of I would say of prosperity and blessing.
Mm,
And then the work ethic is what has taken me further.
yeah.
But I love being multifaceted,
Hmm.
but I think recently what I've had to learn to do this year was learn how to learn how to have a system in place for myself to de-stress
Mm,
because it can all become a bit much, especially at this stage. Like but before, it was just, it was fun. We were learning all this other thing. Now you're trying to make money off of this. Now you're trying, and so now that's a different type of stress. And so
yeah.
now those multifaceted skills and things are going to be used to bring in money and to be
Hmm.
lucrative and things like that. And so now it's a different type of pressure. And I've had to find a way to not let it be a pressure, but still be fun,
Hmm.
still, and still learn.
Yeah. No, I mean, I definitely feel you on that one. It's different when it's just a hobby versus when you're actually making it your career. Um,
Hmm.
talk to us a little bit about you being multifaceted. You also do a lot of work on YouTube. So tell us a little bit about what you got going on. You got tutorials, you got interviews, you do a lot of different types of things. So kind of walk us through the Quiverful production experience we can find for those who want to check you out on YouTube.
Well, I mean, honestly, I'm just trying to fill the spaces where Denzel is not filled up already. I'm just trying
That's
to
funny.
fill those spaces.
what
You
what's he not
know,
doing?
what's he not doing? And let me do that. You know.
That's hilarious.
But you hear people say, "Oh, pick one niche, pick one thing."
Mm,
And that's so hard for me. I don't know about like for you. It's hard for me because I like so many
yeah.
things.
Hmm.
So I've kind of decided, okay, I'm going to keep it to at least two to three things:
Yeah.
movie trailers, movie reviews, and then tutorials.
Yeah.
Those things. And then what happened was I started, going after these movie interviews, and now I ended up
Hmm.
interviewing Hollywood directors, and it was
Yeah.
just like,
Yeah.
oh, I
Yeah.
might be good at this.
Yeah.
you know and then I feel like God has blessed me to be around people who we work with that are
Mm,
amazing interviewers, amazing people
mm,
and so I'm just watching them and learning and seeing how all those things.
yeah.
So I've kept it, especially for me. I can do so many things, tech reviews or other things, but I was like, you know
Hmm.
what? Let me just pick two to three and let two of those things be so similar that they can be in the same vein: movie reviews, trailer
Hmm.
reviews, all that stuff. And then the tutorial side, so that I'm just not talking about the stuff in the movie that's trash. I actually know what I'm talking about.
Right. Right.
And here's my skill set. Let's talk let's show about that.
Yeah. No, I really do like your tutorials. You have a stylistic vibe to them. So your tutorials are different than what you see other people do because it doesn't feel YouTubey. Like you're not trying to like, hey, here's the 5 steps to do. Like, so I like your vibe because it's like you very chill but cinematic. So definitely check that. And also the interviews, the ones you did for She Ride Shotgun.
Yeah.
I still haven't seen the film, by the way, but watching the interviews made me want to see the film. So I was like,
Right.
I need to go watch this movie because you interviewed the director, you interviewed one of the actors. So I'm like, dang man, you doing it.
I'm trying to view and interview everybody. I think part of the thing was I was trying to like, I guess I can say this. Part of my strategy was when it comes to like a movie, and if I get the end, I want to interview everybody so we have a holistic
Mm.
picture
Oh
of the
yeah, that
movie
makes
from the
sense.
sound to the
Hmm.
music. So I wasn't able to get the music guys. I talked to some of the heads, but a lot of these people that are in the movies and that are making movies, they're really not into social media like that.
That's very true. You're
you
like the
know?
tops of the tops. I've noticed that.
They're like, okay, like I'm busy making movies. I don't have time to be
Yeah,
scrolling through. So
that
it's like,
that's very true. No, that is a good point. I feel like I've noticed that with a lot of the top cinematographers and things like that. Like you may get a couple posts here and there, but they're not making a career like others of us out of like, oh, really optimizing YouTube. That's a whole other skill set you have to learn on top of being a artist and on the Hollywood big budget picture, level. But yeah, man, it's dope. So definitely check out his channel. He has good content over there. Um, so I guess we can kind of just hop into it. We can kind of let the conversation flow, but we were kind of going to talk about like weddings and
mm,
the viewpoint I kind of wanted to steer this in was like knowing the right shots to choose for the edit because I do a lot of focus on my channel about editing. I'm also a shooter, as y'all know too, but I kind of did niche down, which was hard. To reference back to what you said, it was hard because I started as a cinematographer, so that I don't think that ever really goes away. I don't think that love for that ever goes away. But being able to choose the shots that look cool, like you want to get shots that look good and stylistic, but also for like I always tell people, like story matters. So like what is the
mm.
story? So like for you, when you're going into a wedding day or pre-production, what is that process like for you? Because I know a lot of times you also are editing the weddings that you shoot. What is your process? Is it just I'm only getting cool shots and I'll figure it out later in the edit? Or are you thinking edit first? How does your process work and how does that determine the shots you get?
Everything is moment based. So my first and priority, like I know I'm creative enough where I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna get some cool things, but my first and basic thing first is to capture the ceremony
Mm,
the right way. I
yeah.
and like and then I go from there. Like I know I'm going to get the B-roll. I know I'm
Mm,
going to get the but my first thing is that I need to make sure that that wide shot is nice and it has
yeah.
both of them in it.
Hmm. Yeah.
And it's not moving, it's not shaking.
Yeah.
It is there.
Yeah.
Okay? And then I have and then I have two other cameras. So I usually try to shoot a
Mm,
three-man camera team.
yeah.
And one to get the groom, one to get the bride, and then that wide shot.
Yeah.
But the most important shot is that wide still shot.
Yeah.
And the reason why it's there because in the edit, no matter what happens, mistakes
Hmm.
with the camera, things like that, I know
Yeah.
that I can go back to that wide shot.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And it's
Yeah.
both of them in it, and they're not going to complain about that. But if that one, if that wide shot look crazy,
Yeah.
oh man. So, but there's always mistakes that happen. There's always things
Mm,
that happen. So that wide shot, keeping that clear is, like I know I had um the and it's very interesting. I don't know if people think about this, but what's very important is the music that the couple uses during
mm,
their first dance
hmm,
and during the ceremony,
hmm,
because that is the soundtrack I use for the wedding. I use some music
mm.
that's similar to that
Okay.
so that they feel like, oh, like the last wedding I did, Anthony and Vassie, amazing, amazing couple. They're into 80s movies just like I
Mm,
am. So I was so
mm.
excited. So now some of the music that I'm going to be using is like 80s style music
Yeah.
and then to have that kind of, look. So the first thing is moments in getting that ceremony, fine.
Hmm.
And then the musicality. Now
Mm,
everything else is I let myself roam free
mm.
when it comes to the wedding dress. I'll never forget the first time. I never forget the first time I was like, "Hey, is the bride in there?" Yeah. She says, "Okay. I want to know if I can, record the wedding dress." They was like, "Okay." And so I'm expecting them to, all right, you can come in. They brought the wedding dress out to me, and I was like,
You're like, oh.
I was like, what you want me to do with this? So I was like, okay, all right. And so a lot of things that happen on a wedding, you have to be prepared
Yeah.
to. to call an audible to
Oh, for
change
sure.
things. So
For sure.
I took her dress, I put it on this beautiful couch in the natural light, and I put it on the
Mm,
couch. It was the same color. Well, oh, it was a little different color, but I put it on there
hmm.
so that I wouldn't get it dirty. And then it would just be nice and clean shot. She's giving you
Yeah.
their wedding dress. So now
That's
I'm like,
yeah.
okay, I gotta call Audible. I gotta get it. Then
Yeah.
it's the daughter with the mother. Maybe here's a little tip that I've been doing lately, and a lot of people don't do it. Include the flower girl in the video with the bride.
Mm. Like, are you talking about when she's coming down the aisle or like interaction outside of that?
When she's getting dressed
Getting dressed. Okay.
and she they're doing like the first look of the dress with the
Yeah,
mom
yeah.
stuff like that. Include
Ah, the
the
flower
flower
girl.
girl.
I've never thought
Include her.
about that.
Because let me tell you something. Every time I have shown a child or a flower girl at a wedding, they always go, "Oh," and
That's
it's
a
always a hit.
that's a good I've
Always.
that is I like that. I've because also this well, it's two reasons why I like that. First
Hmm.
one is because of what you said. They love to see it. So I've done it where I'll get them coming on the aisle and I'll like see that interaction. But I've never thought to get her like when she's getting ready. But the reason why I like it is because depending on how old the flower girl is, how
Mm.
high her awareness is, you can use it as like a foreshadowing for her. Almost like look at this storytelling. This girl is now seeing someone getting married. Now you're seeing this dream being implanted into this child's mind at that moment. So that's like some good storytelling. So that's immediately what came to my mind when you said that. I was like, oh shoot, I never thought about using it in that way. So that's dope. I like
Yeah,
that.
I was like, every time you're at a wedding, you see a child on the dance floor, capture it.
Oh yeah, those are
Get
those
it.
are good too.
Especially if you need a segue. If you're having issues and the camera people that you hired aren't doing good, you make sure you get that B-roll of that child because that'll be a
Just
nice
cut
little, you could
away.
put that
Just cut away to
anywhere.
that. And people are gonna love it regardless.
Let me see another shot that I get. Of course, like the dancing, all that stuff, but
Mm,
some of the intricate shots that I do, and as part of my style, is I'm getting a clear, wide shot in slow motion
okay.
of the groom and the bride kissing
Mm,
this way because every what I do is that I take that shot and because there's always a part in the music where it kind of like it crescendos down and it's
hmm.
like sweet. I
Yeah.
put that shot in there and I just digitally zoom in
Okay.
and it builds the romanticism. And
Yeah.
so you just see this shot zooming in slow
Yep.
and them coming together kissing
I
and then the
like
music
that.
playing and then now it's like they're reliving these all
Mm,
again. So I think in my mind, I like allowing them or shooting in a way and editing in a way where they get those same emotions that they got,
mm. I like
you
that.
know?
Yeah,
So
nah. Nah, that's really cool. I really like that. I never and I guess from a technical standpoint, what you're saying is you're not talking about getting that wide slow mo when they do the kiss during the ceremony. I'm assuming you're talking about grabbing that after the fact, maybe during cocktail hour while you're doing pictures. Hey guys, can I get you just doing this? So that's good to know because it's like
mm,
sometimes people you feel like you get locked in to what's happening, but you got to remember you are still filmmaking. Even though this is a real event, you still can dictate things to a degree. I'm always like, I don't want to make the wedding about me, but when you have that cocktail hour, when the photographer's doing their photos, slip in there. Say, all right. Usually, if you're working with someone who's, I've never had any. I don't think I've ever had any bad experiences working with photographers. So uh, they'll get their shots. I'll get some B-roll of while that's happening, and then they're like, okay, yeah. So what do you want to get? And I'll just hop in and do my thing. And then the other thing that's cool about that is sometimes I will steal stuff from the photographers. So I see them do something, I'm like, ooh, I like that. I'll go in and copy it for video, and that's happened vice versa. I've done something, I'll give them a direction to do people to interact a certain way, and then the photographer's like, oh. I didn't think about that, and then they'll come in. So it's okay to direct the moment. Like you pick your spots.
Mm.
Like, but I think it's okay to give direction. That is why they hired you, so you don't have to feel stuck and locked in. So that's the really key point that Will just brought up. It's something as simple as that wide shot, but he's like, I'm gonna use this to build this moment. So if you have an idea for something, just go ahead and don't be afraid to get in there. I really learned that from photographers, honestly. They watching photographers at wedding taught me a lot for directing weddings
Mm.
because I was like, okay, they're really getting in there and they're really telling them to do things and taking control of the whole situation with other people, the bridesmaids, the groomsmen, and like, hey, let's do this. Hey, like you don't have to just take what people are giving you. You can be like, hey, I need a little bit more emotion out of y'all. So I'll try to do things to amp people up. Like the last wedding I shot, I was like, all right, everybody, come on, I want to get everybody cheering. And thankfully, they hopped in on it pretty good. But it was like, oh yeah. And I'm like getting all up in there close to the camera, getting the angles. Everybody's like all working into the camera and stuff like that. But it just kind of helps people loosen up too. So
Mm.
yeah, man.
That's so interesting. Like I like what you said. You said directing the moment. Like I
Yeah.
love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Coin how to direct the moments
How to direct the
with
moment. No, I mean, I should not
with
even say
images
it.
by cell.
That does sound
Listen.
that does kind of sound that does sound kind of fire actually.
I
Oh
was gonna
shoot.
say, you
Uh,
listen. You're gonna see a lot of this happening with me, and so I'm like, hey, let's,
direct
but
the
that's what,
moment.
right? That's what true, like when you want somebody to do well, things like that, you always want to like support them in that,
A
and
hundred
and
percent.
then
Yeah.
give them that because But it was interesting, like you, the first thing that I do, or the second thing is when I get to when I get to the wedding set, I say the wedding set.
The wedding
When I get
set.
to
Yeah.
and when I when I get to the wedding set, I introduce myself to the photographer,
Oh yes. A
you
hundred
know,
percent.
and I have a conversation with them
Yep.
so that they get to know me and say, hey, listen, I'm not going to be in your way. I
Mm-hmm.
just need I ever so often I ask you a question about where you're going to be. And so
Mm-hmm.
what happens when you do that, you put that in the back of the photographer's mind because and some of
Yeah.
the photographers will be like, oh, okay, all right, hey, this is, we're doing pictures,
Yeah.
hey, and they'll
Yeah.
look at me, hey, do you need anything? Yeah, sure, no problem, but.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times that happens because of the conversation that I
Yeah.
have. You
Yeah.
can't be sitting there and be timid. No, go in
Mm-hmm.
there and say them. But like even conversations with, they're coming down the aisle, and I always ask the photographer, "Hey, what side are you going to be on?"
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
so now me and the photographer are talking about it. Says, well, the groom's going to be, I don't know which way the groom's going to be at. But when I find out he's going to be on this side, I'm going to be on the opposite side so I can get her picture
Mm-hmm.
and turn and get, so now I know
Mm-hmm.
that I'll stay in between where I know the bride's going to be and where the groom is standing
Yeah.
as they're coming down the aisle.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and so we talk about that. Like you need to talk about those moments because photographer, when they get into their flow state, they gonna stand up in your shot, you know,
Yeah.
and you just got to be able to, deal
Yeah.
with it and stuff like that. So, and that's what happened.
And I feel like too, and not like a diss on photographers, they've dominated the industry for longer than videographers have when you think
Oh
about it.
yeah.
So when you go to a wedding, like so photographers tend to be the head honcho when it comes to the vendors.
Mm-hmm.
For the most part, maybe, the florists and things might try to, or the day of coordinators. I guess they would be the ones who's really run. But
Mm-hmm.
like in terms of the people who's doing the service, you gonna get talked to the most as the photographer. Everybody's talking to the photographer, and I've had both because I've done multiple things as a photographer and multiple as a videographer. And every time I've been a photographer, I'm like, yeah, it's different. It's just something different about being a photographer at a wedding when you're the head, the main one versus being a videographer. And it can vary too based on personalities because some videographers are very like very demonstrative and not in a bad way, but they can
Mm.
just come in and take over. So you kind of will balance that out. But typically, I think in people's minds, they think first priority is photographer. And in all honesty, sometimes I kind of give that because you can't, I can kind of edit around certain things. A shot is a shot. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, I got enough of this shot. I can cut to this, cut to that. The picture is the picture. So I kind of, in my mind, I've always been like, I'm gonna let the photographer get the priority. I'm going to see to them. I'm gonna get what I need, but I am going to be mindful of the fact that that picture is going to be what they look at more, probably more times than they look at the video because the picture is just a picture. Like that's timeless.
Yeah.
They're gonna watch the video, of course, especially when you do a good job. I'm saying pictures are timeless. So
No.
I always keep that in mind when I work with a photographer. And I'm gonna get mine for sure, but I know how to work around to get what I need to get as a videographer. But I'm like letting them know, hey, I'm on your side. I'm like, hey, I'm here. Like, I'm not working for the photographer, but I'm working with you. So it's like they're like, okay, yeah, cool. They don't feel this sense of like this this
Mm.
videographer gonna come in here and just get all in the way and put their stuff up. If I can help them, like I remember one shoot, I brought lights, so I set the lights up. The photographer and the photographer was like, oh man, I'm so glad you brought those lights. I was like, well, I don't know what you was going to do if I didn't have the lights, but cool. So I got the lights set up,
Listen,
and they were depending on it. It's like, oh man, this is awesome. Thank you. I'm so glad that you set these lights up. I'm like, yeah, of course.
yeah, I forgot my flash.
I don't know. I'm sure they have flash. I don't. I guess it just the lights didn't make it better because it was so dark in the
Mm.
venue. But yeah, I think that's big. Working with people, the day of coordinator, getting good with them,
Yes,
be on their good side, getting good with
please.
them. Oh my lord.
Because they're going through their own stress.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you being quick, concise, questions, boom, 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 good.
yeah, yeah.
Like they're always going to be running around with their head. But you know what's interesting though? Like you're right about the photographer being late, and internally, I don't mind that
Hmm.
because they're carrying the brunt
Yeah.
of that,
Hmm.
right? They're
Yeah.
carrying the brunt of that. They're the lead when they're the office manager for the wedding, as
In
far
a
as
way, yeah.
visual.
Hmm.
But I feel like because of the social media, that the videographers are being put on the same
Oh, for sure. It's definitely
same
changed.
level,
Hmm.
especially with guys who are, like you said, A type. Like you
Hmm.
see, I forgot what is his name from TikTok, the ball guy with the
You talking
beard.
about Justin Porter?
Justin Porter, right?
Yeah, man. Shout
You
out him.
already know he's
Yeah.
A type. You
Yeah,
know he's
he
taking over.
dominates the wedding. He takes
He
over.
coming. I
The
want to see his
phot-
conversation. I want to see his conversation with the photographer.
Have you ever
That.
seen like I watched this B-roll thing he did? So he has like the headsets. He gives
Hmm.
one to the photographer. So the photographer comes in on his team. He's like,
Right.
"Yeah, we gonna coordinate and everything." So he's like, "Here, I got an extra headset." The photographer got a headset with the rest of his videographers.
Let me tell you something. He tell you, watching Justin, he got on my nerve. He got on my nerve because as I said, I know what I can do, and it's great. But this dude, I'd be like, oh, why you doing
He's
all
good,
that?
man.
Like
He
I
good.
like it though.
No, he's
I'd be like, ah.
the first time I saw Justin Porter, man, with the Netflix style. Oh my
Right.
gosh, I actually tried to work for him at one point. I didn't get it.
Really?
Well, he was looking for an assistant editor, and this is a few years back now.
Yeah.
And so he was looking for someone specifically who edited in DaVinci Resolve. I was like, oh,
Oh,
this is perfect. I didn't end up getting it. He was looking for, like, I think, somebody part-time freelance, but I was trying to, so this was years before I even was thinking about working at CBN. But his stuff was that good that I was like, yo, I gotta try to get in and work with him. But nah, he's dope. He's dope.
yeah, he's super. We're actually following each other
Okay,
on
sweet.
Instagram. So he's like, he just keeps upping his level and things like that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and I had to come to a point where I was like, it's okay.
Hmm.
Like I don't have to do that. Like
Yeah. You do
he's,
your style.
you know, but then also it also shows me, which I like. It shows you what's possible. Like you can't.
Yeah.
The number one thing when you're doing weddings, and I think this just goes for jobs in general, stop getting jealous
Yeah.
of people who are doing it better than you.
Yeah,
Like,
for sure.
learn
Yeah.
from them.
Yeah. I agree with
Learn
that.
from them. Like,
Yeah.
and I think that has to be. people get so jealous. Like and it's like that's far. Like when I remember when I met Denzel and he's editing, like he's doing his thing, right? And I said, "Oh snap, what's up?" Bro?" Immediately me and Denzel hit it off.
Yeah.
But it's like I know that there's a point in time where you make a decision where, or I can be jealous of this person,
Yep.
or I can be a supporter of this person.
Yeah.
And in the industry, and especially in the 757, there's a lot of competition, and it's like work together. You know what I'm saying? And so what happened was
Yeah.
there were projects he wants me to work on. Now there's projects I definitely wanted him to work. But
Yeah.
if I we wouldn't have got the camaraderie
Hmm.
and the content that we captured together if we did not let go, if we didn't, or we're not even built like that to be jealous, but
Yeah.
also
Yeah.
making that decision.
Hmm.
And that goes between videographers and photographers. Like you
Yeah.
gotta be humble, bro. When you go on a
Yeah.
shoot, be humble and creative, and you'll get around those people that
Yeah.
might be jealous of you.
Yeah, for sure. And be okay because sometimes people will try to talk down to you. That can happen. Just roll it off. Don't it is what it is. You just can't control those situations. But don't be jealous of people. I agree with that. And don't try to, I mean, having a competitive mindset, I don't think is bad necessarily.
Right.
If you do it in the right way. If it's like a competitiveness to push yourself, not to try to say like, I want to like destroy this person and I want to like, you know what I mean? You don't want to come with it. But it's all right to have, I think it's a sense of like, oh, look at what they're doing. It's making me want to be better and push myself. So that's how I tend to always be like, I don't try to like get better to beat somebody on my level, if that makes sense.
Mm,
I'm always looking at people who are like steps and steps and steps and steps ahead of me. Like I don't, I might not even be able to copy what they're doing. So I might need to go down a few steps to find someone who I can copy. But my goal is to get to there. So like when I'm like doing like so for example, what I mean by overtaking in competitions and stuff, on the level that we work, we're at a pretty decent, I would kind of say the type of work that we do on like at our day job. It's like indie, but a little higher than indie. You know what I mean? We're like
mm,
adjacent to the industry. I mean, we're in the industry, obviously, but I'm saying it's like where we work at, it's like upper indie level, if that makes sense.
yes.
Um, don't try to compete on that level. Like, get better. Like, there's, but don't try to like, I want to dominate the indie space. You know what I mean?
Many talented people
Like, just like,
over there.
if you win awards, if you do things, you have accomplishments, be happy about that. You know what I mean? But don't be like, I'm trying to like, I don't know, like it's like that mindset of being the big fish in a little pond. Don't keep yourself in a little pond. That's all I'm saying. I thought sometimes people do that. And I'm like, why are you doing that? It's not that serious. Oh my gosh. But yeah, let me check the
Ah,
check the comments right real quick.
okay.
Oh, shout out to my wife. She said, hey.
Oh, hello.
Um, but yeah, drop comments if you got questions. Did you have stuff that you wanted to show? Some shots?
Of course I do.
Look, this
Uh-oh.
this look, let me look, this dude right here keep me on my toes
Stop.
because I tell you what though, because like so the thing that I like about Will that I need to get better about is this man will just practice. He'll be like, bro, I woke up at 5 o'clock in the morning. God woke me up. And I'm like, this man is so deep with this. And then I look at the shot, I'm like, I see why the Lord woke you up. That was a dope shot. I'd be like, I need to get on this level, on his level. Cause I like you'll just go out like I'm about to test this out. And then 'cause I remember the reason I'm bringing it up is the lens you got, the pets full.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember when you first was talking to me about getting it, and I was like, that is a dope lens. And you was like, it's a surprise I'm gonna get it, bro. I'm like, all right, let me know when you get it. And then you were doing your test shots. I was like, they not his stuff. I like how that looks. But then I got to see the other day you were showing me the footage from the last one you did. And I was like, he used the lens. And I'm like, this is why you do your prep work. This is why you prepare. It's why you practice. I'm the dude, I'll get something, just jump out there and just do it without practicing it. And I might bomb it and I have to learn for the next one. But that's a really good trait that he has. That shout out to you on that one because you're really good at that.
But it's interesting because
Uh,
that's how I used to be though.
yeah.
I used to be like that. And then, we go to school and I realized something. I was looking at some stuff and I was like, there's a reason why there's so much prep. But the thing is like, is like we're talented. We're very, very, very talented. So we can get away with stuff. You know
Yeah.
what I'm
Yeah.
saying? We can get away with not being talent. We have the talent, so we get away from
Yeah.
having to prepare and stuff like that. So what ended up happening was I started seeing all this other stuff like in the film festival space. And I'm sitting and I'm looking and I'm like, that's why they're winning. Because I used to get mad. Why isn't my stuff winning? And then I
Yeah.
looked at
Yeah.
the quality because
Yeah.
they planned it out. And I say,
Yeah.
you know what? What
Yeah.
would happen if I had a little bit of planning?
Yeah.
Just just a little bit.
Yeah.
And then what if I had a lot? And so that's why I'm like, you know what? I need to be testing.
Hmm. Yeah.
I need to be looking at stuff. I need to be practicing my craft instead of just sitting there talking about it. Because a lot of people
Yeah.
talk. So I
Yeah.
was just like, you know what? I'm gonna test this out.
Yeah. Nah, for sure. That's dope. I find it's really good to do that and it helps. And you get good results that way. So yeah, don't rely on your talent. You gotta put that work in too. You gotta put that
Listen,
work in.
one thing is like there's so many people. There's so many people that are okay. There's so many people getting by because their camera is nice. You know what I
Well,
mean? There's some
that's a
people get by.
whole conversation
You know
right
what
there
I'm
in
saying?
itself. Hey,
Their camera is nice, but they don't know how to. There's things that are missing that can make it better. But because things are so fast,
yeah,
you know
man.
what I mean? People that they don't see the mistakes and they don't see the underexposure and all these other things. And so there's and I can ask you this. At what point, Denzel, did you transition from filmmaker to technician?
That's a good question. I've never been asked before, but it's funny because I've had that thought in my brain. So to hear someone else articulate it, I'm like, oh shoot, what the heck? Uh, and what way specifically? Like in a certain aspect of filmmaking or just in general?
In general, especially when it comes to your film, into your filmmaking,
Hmm.
your filming, your directing, your shooting.
So, okay, I feel like for me, it's broken up into aspects. So I have my editing, my color grading, and then directing and then cinematography. So the one I think I'm the least technical in is directing, if I'm being honest.
Mm.
In terms of narrative, anyway, the ones I'm the most technical in are, and this kind of ebbs and flows. It's probably now editing, color grading, and then cinematography. I remember when I went to school, I said I wanted to be a cinematographer, even though I knew nothing about what that really was. And I always said I wanted
Hmm.
to be a director, but what I really realized what was to have the camera in my hands. So I remember picking up the camera and just naturally just kind of figuring out cool angles. And that's what I liked. That's what I thought directing was. Then someone was like, "Oh no, there's a cinematographer who does that." I'm like, "Oh, well, that's cool. I want to do that." I didn't understand lighting at all, and lighting confused the heck out of me. Like I was so thrown off. I, it's very funny for me to say this because if you know me, I'm very, very technical when it comes to aspect ratios and f stops and stops of light and things. But I remember I had to get technical to get good at it, if that makes sense. So
Mm.
I would say when I got to college, that flipped for me because I some people are naturally good with how light just falls. I've never been that way, honestly. Camera angles I could kind of do, and compositions. that felt a little bit better. Like more, I could pull that off just off of like what was in me. But the lighting, I would just look at it and just not understand it. So I had to study like crazy. I would like pick a certain amount of cinematographers and just study their work. And I just did that. I made playlists full of like videos of like cinematography this, cinematography that, and just over and over and over drilled it. I would have the f-stop chart that I would just pull up on my own, drilling it. Like what are actual f-stops versus makeup f-stops that we just make up to put on camera. So a lot of people don't really know that. What is happening when the aperture ring is opening versus closing? So it's like all this stuff like this is actually a fraction of a stop. Like it's just all these things. Like I had to learn, get technical like that to just kind of have a starting place. And then I kind of fell in love with the tactician aspect of it. That's when I really started to grow. And the funny thing is, the more technical I got and the more my creativity caught up, I could be less technical. So I'm
Mm,
probably the least technical when it comes to cinematography now, but I'm definitely better because now my brain is doing all the tactician stuff automatically. So there's a lot of conversations I'm having in my head. I'm not telling anybody because I'm already doing all the math in my head. That's already happening because I've done it, drilled it so many times. I don't need to think about it anymore. So that's kind of how that is. So I can look at it and be like, all right, I want to have this backlit shot. So automatically, let me start at like supposed for the sky. You know, I'm not probably going to open up the aperture all that to like a 1.8. Let me go to like a 5.6 for this scenario, and I'll start there, and then I'll just kind of work
mm.
around from everything else. Let me bring my light in. Maybe I'll use a bounce to try to bring the face up. So it's just like I already know what to do. What the options are. I'm not saying I'm the greatest cinematographer on the planet, but just saying for my what I want to create, I can typically get it out. When it came to editing, it was similar. I think I had a little bit of I hated editing at first. Then I got a job where I had to edit. It was a hybrid job where you were just yeah, I mean, I know it's basically what you did, but like I was a shooter editor. So for a real estate company I worked for, and we did like we worked in the marketing department, and I had to learn how to edit. And at one point, I was like, you know what? I'm going to become a really good editor. Like I just decided I was going to just really lock in on it, and started to get more technical. And with Premiere, then I stopped working at that job. Then I switched. I said, I'm switching to the DaVinci Resolve. I'm tired of paying for Premiere. And then that's when I started this channel. And then I just dug in like crazy. Oh, I think we lost your camera.
Oh no. Come on back now. Hang on.
But yeah, so then I got just started digging in at that point. And because I started doing tutorials and stuff like that, I had to know what I was talking about. So I was like, I need to keep learning. And that helped me, honestly. Doing that, become more technical, and doing YouTube helped me get the job at CBN. I know that I wouldn't have gotten that because that got me good. Like I had experience editing all types of stuff, but that forced me to become that tactician, which working the
Mhm.
job I work, I have to be. I don't know that you could do what I do where we work and not be technical like that. Like you could be possible. Some people are just very good like editors and they're not very technical about the system and how it works. For the stuff that because we work on the same projects a lot of time, and you're usually shooting them. But because of the way you know how stuff goes, the way things happen, there's things that has happened. You know specifically about some stuff that's happened that I had to. If I wasn't that technical, we wouldn't have been able to get through it. At least not in the way that we did. So it's very important.
Survived.
And then color grading, man, that came from my love for cinematography. And then I was
Mm,
like, I got to be technical. So at that point, I was like, I want to be technical. So now I'm at the point to where when I want to really get good at something, I get very, very technical about it because to
mm,
me, that helps because you're adding tools to your toolkit. You can always be creative, but it helps your creativity that much more when you have more knowledge, more technical knowledge that you can add. because now you're not just relying all on like your eye. Some people are extremely talented and they can just do anything. And those are like those geniuses, or like they're like exceptions to the rule. Not everybody's like that. So that's why I feel like I had to be technical.
You know what's interesting is like for me, it's opposite. Like
mm,
coloring was something I've always wanted to learn,
hmm.
but I was too busy in editing. I got good at editing because I had to fix things,
Yeah.
especially at
Yeah.
MTV. You had to fix your things around me because it was reality television. Things weren't shot right,
That's just
so
how
you got
that's
this
very
is how
normal. That's how it
things got to
goes.
get so
Yeah.
so now everybody's like, oh, your stuff, your coloring. I said, yeah, that's only because I'm shooting it and I'm
Yeah.
making sure,
You're giving
you
yourself
know.
a good starting position.
Right. So, but
Yeah.
at CBN, I had to learn a lot of it wasn't color grading, it was color correction,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
which was probably the best thing for me to deal with,
hmm
was learning how to correct all these different things in these different
Yeah.
ways, and then being under my boss, who's an amazing editor, and he's a technical person,
Mm.
and so learning under Terry,
That makes sense. He's really
learning those.
technical.
Right. So I would just like eat it whenever I got a chance to, I would ask him all these
mm.
questions. And sometimes I would get it right, or sometimes I was stuck between trying to edit fast and get it done, blah, blah, blah.
Mm.
And then he would see me and he'd always go and say, it's not that you're bad. I just want you to do it better. And it's like, that's always been the issue with
You
some of
never
my
want to hear
mentors. Right. I'm like, what
that.
you mean? I never forget what one mentor said to me. He said, he wasn't my mentor. He just happened to be the head in the position. He said to me, man, you're farther along than I was, but I just want you to do it better. And I looked at him like, what? You
You're farther
just
than I
said,
was, but do it better.
but I'm doing better. I'm like, what? I understand pushing, but a lot of people they've been pushed to learn like that.
hmm
Um,
Yeah.
but um, but that's interesting because I think once you stop learning and once you stop that pressure, especially in our
hmm
job to get things done,
hmm
if we don't have that learning, we're gonna crumble, we're gonna fail. And
hmm
I don't know about you, but I'm gonna do what it takes to get it done and get it done
Oh
well.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah, for
so a lot of
sure.
people don't have that. I think this generation coming up, they don't, some of them don't have it like that because they've been, spoon fed stuff. And it's like, well, this isn't right. It should be this way. And I'm like, that ain't real life,
Yeah, yeah.
you
Things are
know?
easier to do now too. Um,
Yeah.
I mean, we can say that for like, over the last 50 years of filmmaking and entertainment to now, but even in the last 10 years,
Yeah.
if I've been shooting and doing stuff for almost, I guess, 20 years at this point, because I started when I was a teenager. But I mean, even from that point, I remember when, we were still shooting on the little DV tape, cam tapes, and you had to, so imagine doing that, and then you're logging footage, time code, stamping for the editor what parts to get cut out. Because when I first started, I was doing like new stuff and whatnot when I first started. So it's like, it's like that to now is like night and day. So some people are like, wait, what? What are you talking
Right.
about? Well, what do you mean transcode?
Right.
Like, wait, what are you talking about? What do you mean? What was the other thing? The batch record.
Oh, batch
Like you had a
record.
yeah, you had the batch. Like you had to hook up you could hook up your camera to the, it was a whole process, man.
Up-resing too. Up-resing.
I didn't even really have to upres back then because I don't think we was HD, so
Bro,
I didn't have to worry about that.
oh my gosh, bro. That's when we were on, where we were on? We were on Avid Media Composer. And so that was the
Oh,
thing.
you
You would,
started on Avid?
well, I started on, yeah, I did. Actually, I did. Yeah, I started on Avid Media
Oh,
Composer.
dang, that's crazy. I've never edited
Yeah.
on Avid, but
It
yeah, I
it's
know
fire, but
it's like the industry standard in terms of like Hollywood level.
it's fire. But it just gives you more control over the footage.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
in the other things you do and how you doing it. And thing about it is like three different ways to do things in Advent. So
Okay.
you may do it differently, but it's still a different way to do it. So
Yeah, that's dope. That's dope.
yeah, yeah.
All right. Well, I guess we can go ahead and we had a nice little tangent there, but I love that kind of stuff. That's good for clips.
For the
um.
clips.
So all right. So yeah, you said you had some stuff right that you could show.
There was okay, so the ceremony is one thing. What you got have to start thinking about is the personality of the couple.
Ah,
So
that's a good one.
you should think about the personality of the couple. And so I found out on this one thing that the bride loves Friends.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
So I instead of a lot of videographers the easy way get away with just making a 2 minute reel of the beginning,
Hmm.
boom, 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 and it's 3 minutes, boom, boom, you done. Oh, that was so nice, and you
Yeah,
move
yeah,
on. I like to give people the bang for their buck. So
yeah,
what I did was I separated her wedding into Friends episodes, and I
yeah.
found
That's
the
dope.
fonts and stuff like that. And
Yeah,
so
that's
this is just
creative, man.
this is just one thing that I was doing, and it was just something. It's something that I want to do, and we'll talk about how I got into doing more weddings because I was not trying to be do weddings anymore. I did one wedding and I was done, and it was guy was like, "You sure about that?"
I feel you, bro. I felt the same way.
It's
I feel
like
like most people, but
I'm
that's how
like,
most people.
all right. So this is I think it's the second episode. Yeah.
Oh, that's dope. The one where I love that. Oh, that push. Yeah. That's good. Yeah, I like that. And I did,
So it's
that's
good. Sorry.
fire. No, I was I like that. That's fire because I love the episodic things. You broke it up. And the whole moment
Mhm.
just about the dress. That was dope.
It was interesting because to everybody else, everybody's like, "Well, who is that?" Whatever. But the lady at the end is her grandmother.
Mm.
Who was, had been feeling well, but she made it out there. And so
Oh.
so now we're keeping in we're like you said, Denzel, we're storytelling. So we're telling the story of all this, the dress, the mom. And if you notice, I could have shot the whole thing in 120 frames per second and been good, right?
Hmm.
But it was important to come out of the slow motion
Hmm.
so that the slow motion when it does come back is appreciated,
Yeah, for
you know?
sure. For
So I
sure.
came out of it and then to get the real movement and because now I'm bringing back memories, right?
Yep.
In the moment. And so now the grandma's there and I see her
Mm.
and immediately in my head, I'm editing in my head. I'm
Yeah,
like, this is where I'm going to end this episode
that's nice.
because it's an emotional journey. And then the woman that wasn't feeling well is there and she's embracing her. And
Yeah, I like
that's
that.
how you end off the
Yeah.
emotion to keep it there like, oh my gosh, when's the next episode?
That's the doing the episodic release of the wedding film is very interesting. I've never seen that before. And I like that. And it's cool because you kind of had it, you were able to tell a whole, little montage story right there, just focus on that. The other thing I like from a technical aspect that you did was you shot it, and I don't remember because I remember being there. I helped you shoot help you shoot this one. So I don't remember how much of those I were shots that I got or you did, but I remember. But I like how you got a variety of shots. So when you were cutting, it wasn't feeling like you were just like standing in one spot the whole time. You showed
Mm,
the reveal turnaround of the bridesmaid seeing her, and then you went on the other side and got her looking at them too. That reaction, which I feel like is really good because you can like it makes it feel like there was more coverage even if you shot with one camera, and then
mm,
mixing it up, getting different angles, punching in. So you can do that, digitally by punching in post, or you can do it while you're shooting, get closer, just mix it up. Don't just stand in one spot the whole time because it will make it feel a lot more cinematic when you're cutting to different angles of like stuff happening.
mm.
Like how you did when she was in the room, putting on the dress. You had the wide shot outside of the door looking in, and then you punch in for like a side. Oh no, you like do that the slow mo push in,
Hmm.
side angle, close up of the hand on the dress, stuff like that. Mixes it up. So those are like good shot selections that you're able to use to thread the whole story together. That I really like.
Well, and the other thing is like you want to get all those shots that you can cover yourself,
Oh
because
yeah.
on the wide shot, I started moving in, and even though I was in slow mo, it was still a little shaky. And
Mm.
so thank God for cross dissolve. Cross dissolve is the number one, the number one fixer.
Crosses all it. Just crosses all
Number
it.
one. Just
Little shit
cross dissolve
crosses
your
off.
problems away.
Throw that crosses off
I was gonna say, what
on.
happened? No, cross dissolve. Don't worry
Crosses
about
off.
it. And it always makes it look good.
Oh yeah, this is so stylistic. It just faded into the
You know, we need to make a commercial for cross dissolve. Are you
yep.
having problems with hard stops? Cross
Crosses
dissolve.
off. Oh my gosh, that's
I was
hilarious.
having so much trouble with this wedding thing, and then and then I got cross dissolve, and it saved everything.
Thank you, crosses
Cross
off.
dissolve. Oh man.
Oh my
But
god.
that's what I did. I crossed dissolve, and so with that, I know I was going to cross dissolve anyway, but now it's selection, but now it's like, how are you cross dissolving?
Yeah, yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? Now I'm stretching out that cross dissolve to make it to smooth it, out and things like that. So
Yeah. Nah, that's
yeah,
fire. I really like how that came out. Um, yeah. Nah, that was dope. I'm gonna try to see.
because you got
Um,
something, right?
yeah, and I should have pulled
Mm.
it up beforehand. I didn't do it.
It's okay.
I don't know
It's
why I didn't do.
okay.
I'm gonna have to let y'all see my files, I guess. Hold on, let me do this.
You know what? I'll talk. You just find your
Yeah,
stuff.
you go
So
ahead and
back
do
to
your
this cross
thing.
dissolve.
Can you well no, never mind. That's not gonna work because I'm on my end. Yeah, you can just go ahead and talk as I find this.
So you know what's interesting? You know what I find, and this is something that I've had to like, man, my this thing is delayed.
Oh, is it for real?
Yeah, on my end. But what I find interesting is that you should definitely know all the things of editing and shot selection, all those things, until you don't have to say it. You're just doing it. And
Hmm.
I know there's a lot of people who pride themselves on knowing all the vocabulary, the L cuts, the J cuts, and all this other stuff. I don't go into edit and say, all right, I'm gonna put the L cut here. I'm gonna put this
Hmm.
J cut. No, I just do it.
Yeah.
I want and there's a lot of people. How do you feel about that when you got all these people that I feel like sometimes they feel like posers to me, where they got all this information. Oh yeah, you should do that, blah blah. And I'm like, yes, but there's a lot of copying going on. There's nothing wrong with that,
Hmm.
but you're
Yeah.
just copying somebody else.
I feel like, yeah, so you can have people who just throw verbiage around. And to me, it's easy
Yes.
to tell because it usually doesn't make sense. If I'm being honest, it's like, wait, what are you talking about? The verbiage, like the whole point is like achieving the goal that you have. So I do think it's important to know
Yeah.
the verbiage and things like that. I do. But if you just know phraseology and you're just saying stuff, you just know words that aren't helping you do anything. So like, how do you use a J cut? How to use an L cut? I've heard editors who edit on a uh, high level when it comes to the documentary, and he completely threw L cuts out. He said, "I don't use L cuts. I just call everything J cuts." And I was like, oh, well, that's technically not right, but he didn't care. So, but he's on a very high level. So he's like, it's all J cuts to me. You just have a J cut going this way and a J cut. Oh, he may have called it L cut. I don't remember which one. I think he said L J cut. Basically, he was like a backwards J cut, or the other way, J cut. Because people trying to, is it a J cut or is it an L cut or is it we just want the audio to lead into the next scene, or we want the audio to carry end out this scene going on to the next one. So you know what I mean? It's one of those things where it's just like if you can do what needs to be done, then cool. Knowing the verbiage is good, but at the end of the day, a lot of times if you're an editor, I'm just take from this standpoint. Some directors know, but not all directors know terminology. So
Yeah.
you using verbiage with them wouldn't matter no way. So it really would only matter with other editors. And I've always kind of been the person to where I'm not trying to impress a person who's doing what I'm doing. I'm trying to impress my client, the person I'm going to be doing work for, if that makes sense. So yes, you should know because you don't want to tell people wrong information. But if you
Right.
don't know something, it's okay because you can still figure it out. You can learn it. But just knowing information is throwing stuff around and you don't actually know how to implement it, it's kind of pointless to me. So
Yeah, that's because I get that a lot. I got, I got a lot of it, especially coming from MTV. And wherever I go, there's this premise that, oh yeah, so are you using the J cuts today? Or you? I'm like,
yeah, when people do, you know people don't know what to talk about when they say that.
right? I'm like, I'm looking at you like, I don't care.
Oh,
I don't care.
but wait, Will, how do you f- how do you feel about the slip tool?
Oh, you wrong for that. You wrong.
I know that's your
Jared,
favorite.
oh
I
my
know that's your favorite tool to
God.
use. I actually really do use the slip tool a lot. But we had this conversation. He was like, I don't want to use the slip tool. And it'd be like, everybody trying to make me use this thing tool.
Right. And yes, I know how to use I've been using the slip tool, but when it first came out, like I know it, I use it. But because I am technical when it comes to editing,
You want to know
I
exactly what frames you're like cutting. You
I
don't want to
like
have to
to
kind of
know
guess. Yeah.
well, the thing is, it's part of my problem solving. If I
Mm,
know where a thing happened at now, where the cut is at, now I know, okay, there's a mistake that's happened. This is where the cut starts, right?
yeah,
Now,
yeah.
granted, yes, you can slip cut, blah, 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 but when you're moving as fast as I do, when you have all these things going on and not having to remember, okay, oh, did I slip back? Or did just,
Yeah,
I
it's
know where
as
I
a
cut at.
like so the slip tool is dope. I do use a slip tool like a lot, but I do agree like if you're trying to be very precise about where the cut is, the slip tool can be a little problematic because it doesn't always feel exact where your hand is.
Right.
Maybe you slip a frame off. You can look at the monitor and it will tell you you've gone 2 or 3 frames forward or something like that. But if you don't know exactly how many frames you need to move, you can just easily just go boom, 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 like move your cursor, or like go over a couple of frames, a frame at a
Mm,
time. But then I have a backup way to go quick, which is then using the ripple edit, which is on in Premiere is Q and W, but you can
right.
basically everything before the playhead. I have a bunch of tutorials on that. But yeah, so I use that quite often, and that helps. Yeah, so I mean, yeah, know how to use all the tools. To me, the slip tool works the best when you're doing editing B-roll. because that's more like I'm just trying to find this moment real quick. So let me just slide through versus grabbing in your timeline the clip, extending the clip out, then cutting it and moving it over. And that gets like, okay, you're doing too much. But like, hey, hey, slip to the moment when he picks up the bag and walks out the door. Boom, got it. We didn't have to move nothing around. It's there. So, it's like in moments. You gotta know what moments to use stuff and how the proper way to me to use a slip tool too is you can get yourself to a range,
Mm,
get yourself in the ballpark, and then at that point start using your ripple edits QW because it's like, all right, I'm in the ballpark. I need to take 5 frames off the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Q, boom. Now we're good. No one's going to be upset about that. Versus, oh, let me go back and forth, slip, 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 slip.
and
I
that's
gotta
what I
find that
hate.
starting point.
I was using the Ripple tool and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, this is cool. Like, oh, it is cool,
Yeah.
but after a while, but I think I think it's also it's individual based because I
Yeah.
edit in a way where I'm so like I'm fast, like
Hmm.
and it's not a fast where it's like it comes from being in survival mode
Mm.
and trying to get projects done. If you've ever edited a 48-hour film festival, if you've ever done like that, I do not ripple to when it comes to 48. When anything I got to do fast, I do not ripple to anything.
Mm.
Anything. I'm like boom, boom, boom. I got to fix that. Kaboom. And that's just because when I was at MTV, they said you got to make sure every frame is where it needs to be.
Yeah. That's
Like they could
anything.
tell, but like
Yeah.
you can get away with some stuff, but it was like
Hmm.
the pressure was on us so much
Yeah.
that you had to be precise, and so that's where it comes from, being
Yeah.
precise, knowing.
Yeah.
But I was like, so
Yeah.
you know what I might do? I might start doing some projects where I'm using it.
And just kind of like tell like basically come like do like a comparison or something.
Hmm.
Yeah. Like I say, everyone's workflow is different. And if you're trying to
Yeah,
do something and it's not making sense, and if you can do another way, that's better. And then you can always take time, like, all right, I'm gonna take a time between projects and practice with this and see what the fuss is about. And you might be like, oh, actually, I do like how this works.
right.
Let me see. I'm just
But
trying.
it's always the directors and the producers that want to tell me to use the slip tool.
Yeah, that is actually very, very funny.
I was like, yeah, just use slip tool a bit. No.
It's so fun. I don't know why they do love that.
Yeah, I think Jared was trying to get me to use the slip tool when we were doing like the ending
Oh,
for the
okay,
movie.
yeah.
He's like, you gotta use the slip tool, man. I was like, no, never, never. He's like, oh, come on, man. I was like, no.
It can be when you're editing with the director right there. That's a whole nother experience, and you got to like
Ah.
figure out ways to move because like they don't waste my time. I gotta go.
Right. It's
So he's
like,
like, oh Lord, this is fast. So I did find. I think I'm gonna
oh,
play.
yes. Let's see it.
I'll just play this one. This is a one that did early last year. I guess I can just play the whole thing. Let me share my screen. Let's see. Whoa, where's my video at? Okay. Is that showing up
Yeah, I see it.
on there? Okay.
Mhm.
Let's go ahead and move this around.
Oh, you're on a Mac.
Yeah.
Ah.
Mac at home, PC for work.
I don't hear the sound.
Oh no. Did I
Oh,
gotta
you share sound. Just stop it and then share sound, or just hit the share sound. I mean share button, and it'll come up. You can
share settings?
sound.
I don't
So if you
even
go to
see that.
share, let me see. If you just hit share again,
Uh-huh. Oh, share sound. I see.
yeah.
Hopefully this doesn't start doubling, but I think it should be all right. If it gets weird, someone let me know in the comments. What in the world?
And there goes Mac, boy. I tell you, I love it though. I'm a Mac head, but I did the PC because I just needed more power without paying. But I love Macs though.
Yeah, I like working in both.
Yeah.
Okay.
Venture resolve like that. Yeah, okay.
All right, let's see.
Mm. Yes. Oh, she's gorgeous. Yep.
I'm going to ask you a question, and at the end, if you agree, you will say "uncle" to him for so long as you both shall live. It's a road you can only learn by walking.
Yes, I need process. Blame it on law school.
Best friend, soulmate, has an unforgettable experience that led to me elevated
With this ring,
friend.
in sickness and in health,
I knew she was in law school.
by God,
My lawfully
to have and to hold.
and wife.
Look at the photographer. Yeah.
Had a roll. I was like, it is what it is on that one. Couldn't do nothing.
Right.
But hey, he had a good shot too.
Yep.
But yeah, even like the choice I made with the music in this,
Yeah.
I like try to like switch up.
You're just like a sweet song playing out in my mind.
So
It's
good.
overwhelming. We're just two of a kind. We can let the world spin. 'Cause this love can take all the time. Year after year in different clothes. Couldn't place it, but I'd seen you around. Left an impression in the back of my mind. Felt like forever till I
I'm
picked
telling you,
up
that
the
wide shot.
signs, and
Yeah,
now
get you right.
I'm
Get you
in
right.
motion. Brighter days don't seem so lonesome.
That's her
In
brother.
this new phase. Guess it's true what people say
Aw.
when you don't look fortune rays. You're just like a sweet song playing out in my mind. It's overwhelming. We're just two of
I
a
love
kind. We can let the world spin. 'Cause this love can take all the time.
Moments. Look at that moments.
They really weren't
Moments.
talking to each other about for.
Look, in my line, I get ready.
Yep.
Feeling too trippy, get it cracking like a levy.
Yep.
All how the party if the levy. Cue the countdown and release the confetti. The party don't start till I get there. Sit us all in the rest and it ain't fair. I've been waiting
There
on
you
this
go,
moment
Unc.
my whole
Yeah.
life. Yeah, give me my crown if it's just right. Make it look good. Watch yourself, huh? Yeah, you make it look good. Don't let it watch yourself, huh? 'Cause you make it look good. Watch this. Pull up with the top down. Ain't anything. I'm way too hot now. I radiate. Don't need a rear view. They behind me. 'Cause my future's so bright in my blind. Hold up. Why I gotta shine so bright? Don't need a reason. Escort in my head is out. They was just leaving. Can't be nobody else. I'ma be myself. So they gon' have to watch me treat myself. You make it look good. Watch yourself, huh? Yeah, you make it look good. Don't let it watch
that.
Like, get, like extra moments I couldn't fit. I just throw them in
Watch
there.
yourself, huh? Yeah, you make it look good.
That's Unc right there. That's
Don't let it
OG.
watch
Go
yourself,
on.
cause you make it look good.
It was getting
Watch
down at this
yourself,
one
huh?
too.
You make it look good. Watch yourself, huh? Yeah, you make it look good. Don't let it watch yourself.
But yeah, man.
So allow me to break down this wedding video. Okay. Okay. So what has happened is that Mr. Barnes over here has he has his style is ingrained in his movement.
My
And so
movement.
and it because it really is like
Documentary vibe.
documentary vibe with the
Yeah.
zoom in, boom.
Yeah,
So
that's
it's okay
yeah.
if it's something's like out of focus and then you go into
Mhm.
focus like that kind of style.
Yeah,
Enzo's so good at that as well as everything else he does.
I
But
appreciate that,
also
bro.
it's the transition though of moments to moments
Mhm.
are just seamless.
Yeah,
Which is that was the I see
that's
that's
what
what
I
I like
was.
about yours.
Thank you. Yeah, that's what I was really going for with that because I was like, when I so the song, so I was going off their vibe, and I saw this was the first one where I really pushed myself in the edit to really try to think outside the box and not just do slow music, just montage the whole thing out, and then that's the end of it, which is fine, you know. But like I've done that so many times where I'll do one track the whole time. And I
Yeah.
actually really learned this switching up to multiple music tracks from documentary editing at CBN. Like I would have one music track and write it out. And that's probably, but like, so working with, Jarrett and CBN Films, it was like, hey, you're on this one music track for too long. We got to break it up. And I was like, okay, interesting. So it helped me because I was like, okay, so I want to go to a different moment. Let me create pockets. Like, uh the way like basically create like we're going to a different moment like you said, and that's exactly what I was going for. I wanted that atmospheric in the beginning, and a song that I kept hearing in my head was, I don't know if you've heard the song by her. What's the name of the song? I'm blanking it. I think you know what I'm talking about. It's best part, is that the name of the song? I thought
That's
everybody.
exactly what I heard when you played
Okay,
it.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I was digging so hard to find a track that was, that I could use, royalty free. That was, well, it was stock music, but that I could use that sounded like that. So I was just digging, because I heard when I was there at the wedding, I heard the song. Looking at them, their vibe, they have a very urban vibe to them. Like they were playing, like they're very, like you're right, because you said she's a lawyer. He worked for like the shipyard or something. So they're like very buttoned up people, but they were cutting they were cutting loose at the wedding, and they were playing, one of the games they played was guess whose music, whose playlist it was. They're playing old school hip hop. They're playing R&B. Like it was all these different types of vibes and styles. I was like, oh, I gotta lean into that for this because this is their vibe. So that's why I was like wanting to get stuff that was like that. So switching in between each moment was just like storytelling with the music is something that I've really focused on. And I feel like it's something that I can kind of hang my hat on, and something that I tend to do a lot, especially with editing movies. The music is such an important part, and I've worked hard. I wasn't always so good at that, but I worked hard to get better at that. And like you were talking about with I go for a documentary feel because I've always been very much like, I don't want to shoot slow mo all the time. Like I feel like that's something people rely on as a crutch. And I like how you said in the other one, you broke it up. So you did it the right way. When you use it to highlight moments. I tend to go far to the other extreme. I'm just not doing anything slow mo. I was just so tired. I was tired of doing slow mo for myself, and then tired of seeing that all the time at weddings. So I wanted to have a documentary style. So I kind of lean into the camera shake. My camera that I have right now, I love the image, but it doesn't have image stabilization. And if you really look at my shots, being 100% honest, you can tell they're more shaky than I would like. But I try my best to edit around them. I try to use a
Mm,
stabilizer to kind of fix it. But like you said, if there's my philosophy is if there's a moment that I like, I'm using it. I don't unless
yeah.
it's just completely unusable. But there's some moments that there's camera shake and the focus is like there and then lands. But like especially she was so charismatic. She was like one of my favorite brides to shoot because she was just so energetic. She was so comical. Like she would look at the camera, make funny faces. So I'm like, I'm using any bit of I can of her doing it because she was, she was awesome. And then at the end, I'd never seen this before, but they switched uh from their shoes they were wearing. They put J's
Yeah.
on. I thought that was the coolest thing. And I was talking to the groom to the groom about it. And I was like, oh, so whose idea was that? He's like, oh yeah, man, that was my idea. She didn't think about doing that. But they had because the colors were that with the green, we had the green. So I was like, bro, that's
Mm,
fire. You got the white and green Jordans. And they put them on. So I was like, let me get a shot of them interacting with it, And then that last shot, because that shot I didn't pose. That's what I'm talking about stealing from photographers. The photographers had them sitting. I said, oh shoot. And I said, all right, y'all, I'm gonna basically y'all keep doing your thing. I was like, I'm gonna pan down. Not pan down, I'm gonna tilt. Gotta get that right. I'm a
yeah, yeah. Don't let Jean Guy hear
I know. He literally thought about John Gee when I said
it.
tilt. I started down, tilted up from the shoes up to them doing the kiss. I was like, oh man, that was like that. That to me just was like them because they didn't have like a full on send off. So
Mm,
that was one of those moments. Okay, there's no send off. Usually that's the easy way to end your wedding film. I was like, all right, well, let
right.
me just find something. And I did that. And then I have my little thing at the end. I love doing montages at the end. It's like the
Hmm.
watch some old 90s, early 2000s black film. The cookout, what I'm talking about, the cookout
Right.
vibes, and it's like the music's going. You just see this is like the blooper reel part. This is the funny moments, stuff like that. So that's what I tend to do. It's like these are all the moments I liked. I didn't get to put into the film. I'm gonna throw them at the end as like a little extra bonus. So that's just something I've done that probably I think for a lot of the wedding films I've done, the last couple wedding films I've done that little thing.
But
So
technically, it's with your style, it's okay if some of and this is about this is about you shooting so much that you learn yourself.
hmm
In the editing style, it's okay if some of the stuff is out of focus and a little bit
yeah.
moving because if it's moving fast and it gets to a shot where
hmm
it's in focus,
Yeah.
it's kind of like it pops out. That shot pops out, and now
Yeah.
the stuff is like sometimes I'll do this, and this is like a little it's a little trick that's done everywhere that you don't give the best until a certain point,
hmm
right? And
That's
and
what
what
I
happens
yeah.
when you don't do that, or not say the best, but like just in this case, when you have it that way, and then you come into focus with this, with the shot that you've planned,
Yeah.
now it's even more appreciated.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And
That's dope.
and so don't, I know. See, the thing is like this. Denzel was honest. He said, "Yeah, I know, but
hmm
but I mean, like, there's a lot of people who are not honest, bro.
Yeah. They were like, oh
There's some people I was like, nah, fix that. Even remember we took a
yeah. Oh
couple
yeah.
couple of
Yeah.
our shots, and I was like,
hmm
nah, you gotta,
Yeah. Yeah. Get it right.
get it
Sometimes
right.
stuff happens, but
I
you
mean,
still gotta get a product out.
gotta get the product out.
So it's like, let me do what I can, And like I said, like your gear can determine it. So
Yeah.
definitely your camera gear, Matt. Like I love the cameras I shoot on because of the image, but um and a lot of times I shoot like I shot the whole thing by myself. So it's like I'm running and gunning,
Did that by
trying.
yourself?
Oh yeah, yeah. Any wedding you see me,
Wow.
I've always shot my weddings by myself. Nothing is the best just to
He's
do it
like, I
that
need all
way.
that. He said, Denzel said, I need all that money.
I know. No, look, I would get people most times it's because I don't. Well, it depends. Yes, there have been times I've done it for that reason, but there are times where I haven't. I wouldn't. maybe I didn't have time to get somebody else, or their budget really wasn't, allowing for another person. So I
Yeah.
left it with love to work on projects where I can have a full team. That's why I love when I get to work with you, because I'm like, yeah, he always got the full team. Because for reasons like that, like you trying to book it around and catch this shot, and I got to get that one. But those, like you said, I always have one wide shot, and then I'll have my other camera I'll float around with. So that's usually how I get around it. So I can always cut back to that wide one. But yeah, you just kind of make do with what you don't make excuses. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like, oh, I can't do it because I'm not a person. I'm gonna make it work. Even if everything's not perfect. My thing is emotion. And the whole time watch, and this is because I would be critical of my work. I'm like, those shots look how they look. I know like some of the shots I'm like, yeah, that could have been a little bit better. But when I was watching it for edit, I was honestly smiling the whole time watching it because I was like, I got what I wanted to. Like
Right.
it came out, I got the emotion I wanted to. And I realized a lot of people, that's what will get them. It's like, you got the emotion right. The audio was good. The music carried it. So it's like, even if there's some imperfection somewhere else, that felt good. And that's the feeling you want people to leave, because you can have something that looks good, but it don't feel good. You ever been to a movie and it's like, this movie looks beautiful, the cinematography is amazing, but its editing is, what is even happening?
Its
Exactly.
story
Like
is
it's like,
trash.
yeah, it's like it's not good. The sound design, whatever the case may be. But if I have to sacrifice one, I'd rather sacrifice the visual and get everything else, because a lot of times, psychologically, I think with our brains, we'll fill in gaps. You know what I mean? We can fill gaps in because everything is like telling us, you're putting it there like this is what needs to happen. And even when you go back over something with a fine tooth comb, but look at some of your favorite films. There's mistakes in there. There's going to be somebody who's out of position, some continuity error that was missed. But those editors say, look, this is the best shot. I got to use it. This is the moment that's going to give this emotion. We care more about continuity, or do we care about getting the story across? Do we care about the emotion? Do we care about the product in totality being what it needs to be?
That's so it's so interesting because it's like I think if you can be honest about your stuff, then you can get better. Like
100%.
like after our first wedding, out like and I think and you can't be afraid of it.
Yeah.
After our first wedding, I was like, I talked to, talked to Josh, talked to you and say, hey, this is what we need to do. Boom, boom. And I wasn't afraid to be like, hey, let's look at it this way. Because I knew
Yeah.
that I was gonna work with you guys again. And I
Yeah.
was just like,
Yeah.
all right, well, I can sit here and be timid and be like, oh no, it's all right. And I'm
Yeah.
like, and then
Say
be
what you
stressed out
want.
in the edit. I said,
Yeah.
no, be honest so that this person can know it and
Yeah.
get better. And I can know it and get better. And Josh
Yeah.
can know and get better.
Yeah.
And so like when I told Josh, I said, listen, all I need is this one shot just to be on point, like
Yeah.
And I could tell. And even our first one, he was a couple times. He wanted to get the crowd. He wanted, because instinctually you want to
Just
get
move
stuff.
and get something.
But then he would go back to
Yeah.
making sure, and I was like, thank God, because he has no idea how many
I
times
need
he
this
saved
shot.
you and I,
Need this
because we
shot.
were moving
Yeah.
because
Something was happening.
because the musicians
Especially,
got in the way.
especially that one you talk about, like, was it the vow renewal one, or the?
Yes.
No, for me, because so much stuff was happening on the stage. I was like, I can't move in, and I'll get in a position like, man, this is not a good spot. I need to move again, or something. I'm like, I just gotta move. Hopefully the camera's locked down in the back, because I was like, I can't. Or some, I'm like, I would get there and it's like crap, because we were on the stage. And I remember I got backed up into a corner at one point, and I was like, frick. I was like, this shot is not even usable right now. I'm trying.
Yeah, it's a funny point because I could hear the inner monologue during the wedding because he's trying to get and I see him like,
I'm like, oh no.
and all I'm thinking in my head is like, Josh, please have this camera still. Please
Don't
have
move.
this
I need to
camera
get a cut to
still.
that.
And I would come back to Josh, and Josh would be like, thank you, Lord.
It happens, man.
Uh,
You'd be like looking at like, why did I do that? Why did I move it this way? You know, you want to be able to nail it every time, but you don't always nail it every time.
yeah, I mean, listen, and you just gotta like, hey, you know,
Yeah. It's not like it's different like with live events than movies because the movie you can just keep doing as many takes as you need to do till you get the shot.
Mhm.
A live event happen is done. So that's why it's important to have like we were talking about B-roll and other moments to cut away to and then have that stationary shot. So as the main if you don't take nothing else away from what we talked about today, but the one thing, make sure you have that wide shots locked it down because if everything's moving, you'll never have anything to come back to. Or if you're only shooting a wedding with one camera, you know, I don't know what, unless you're going to a highlight video, and if you're not going to have no parts of the ceremony, then fine, I guess. But if you're going to be trying to do like that, like I want to capture this moment, you're going to have a camera that's stationary, so that way,
Yeah.
especially if you're working by yourself, that's like I always, whenever I know I get in a situation, the very last wedding I did I borrowed another friend's camera because I was like, all right, this time I'm going to help myself out and I'm going to do it. I did the 3 camera setup like you do. And I just was bouncing between the cameras. So I was trying to set them up in a way to where I didn't need to move too much. I like one of them, I left off to the side. I was like, this one, I get the groom. I'll just kind of have it. I'll just punch in on it later if I need to. Have my wide that I didn't touch. And I have my other one that I positioned to get people coming down the aisle. And then I could basically pan with them. And then bam, I'm here now to get the another side angle for like the bride. So you just gotta be creative sometimes.
How did it come out?
I feel like it was okay. The other problem I had with that one was matching. It was I was shooting with different cameras, and then my other camera started spazzing out on me, and it was like, 'cause this is issue that my camera has. I'm surprised that doesn't happen right now. Sometimes it would just start like the shutter will just spaz out, and it'll just start like shifting, and then I have to because my camera has it's a Fuji, so it has like mechanical dials on it. I'll have to unlock it and flip it physically
Oh,
to
get it.
another like shutter speed and then bring it back. It's weird. I don't know why it does that. But
I
so
have
yeah,
a
oh yeah, go
go
ahead.
ahead. No, no. You were saying something after
Oh, I was
I
saying so yeah,
said.
so those are things I had to work around. So playing getting stuff to match as much as I could with the color. So the ceremony I was like not that much the most happy about. But when I
Mm,
got past that part and was able to shoot all the other stuff, I was fine because I was shooting B-roll at that point and doing the
right.
reception and stuff. So that's all the fun stuff. I was like, all right, let's just get through the ceremony as best we can here.
As long as I can get through to get my wide shot in ceremony of
And
them two.
I had the wide shot. So what I ended up doing was I gave him raw footage. Well, raw footage. Like I gave him. So I was like, here's the cut, the wide camera angle. I think I did edit around it a little bit. Here's the uninterrupted ceremony. So you have this to look at. You know, you have that shot
Right.
to go to. It's all good. But in the wedding film, like this, I did some finagling and I chopped it up a lot anyway too. But you about to ask me something?
Yeah, okay. So there's another question I have, and it's about raw footage, but we'll get to that. We're gonna go into the chat. And my one of my people said the struggle is real. Shout out to the struggle is real and Evelyn Ricky. Is it Richie or Ricky, Evelyn? I want to make sure I'm saying it right. But she said, wait, which Fuji?
Which one? The X-T3.
The
Fujifilm
X.
X-T3 is what I have 2 of them.
Mm.
And
You
the
have two of
image.
them?
Mhm. I thought you knew I had 2.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I have
I
2.
don't
'Cause I
remember.
brought
Okay.
2 when we shot your did I? Oh no,
Oh
I think I only brought
no.
one. I brought one 'cause I shot on your camera, but I did bring but yeah, I have 2. Which
Okay.
is those cameras. So eventually I'm going to upgrade at some point and get some more cameras. But those 2, the Fujifilm is always going to be when I do photography jobs. That's always going to be what
You
I go
can't
to.
beat that, bro.
No, the image is so good, and then for it to be because it's a very, I think these cameras came out in 2017 or something. So they shoot the image. If you can get it stabilized and everything perfectly, the image you get log footage, you can shoot up to 120 frames in HD, um,
Mm.
up to 64K, but you have 10-bit 420 internal, and external you can get, I believe you can get 10-bit 422. So it's F-Log, not F-Log 2. So it's not as, the you get more, room to play with F-Log 2, but F-Log is really good. And I've done some nice stuff with that. So yeah, if you're in the market for a cheaper old camera with a very good image for under $1,000, I would suggest the Fujifilm X-T3. And if you want to have some IBIS, go X-T4. That would be my suggestion.
Because she says that she has the XT1.
Okay, okay.
And the other question for Denzel, do you exclusively film weddings or do you film other events as well? They got here a little late, so
Okay. I've shot probably any and everything. So I don't exclusively do weddings now. I shoot everything. Uh the most I've done weddings probably the most recently. 'Cause like I said, I also do photography. So I shoot weddings as well, and I do portrait photography and stuff like that. But music videos, short films, narrative projects, commercials, live events in general. I've done it all. I've shot pretty much everything you can shoot.
no, but that's not all you do because you shut it, but you're a professional. What are you?
You're talking about, oh, in terms of what I do, editing is probably what people know me for the most now, because that's what I do the most professionally. I mean, I still do the other stuff too, but like the primary thing I do these days is edit. I still shoot though, edit and color grade.
I like color gray, and he and me and Denzel have worked on a lot of stuff together. And so, do you charge? Do you think videographers and photographers, because most people here are professionals in our industry as well.
Okay.
Do you think we should charge for raw? But hold on, let me say that again. Do you think we should charge do you think we should charge for the raw? Stop laughing. Do you think we should
Chill.
charge for the raw footage?
Hey yo.
Yeah.
Uh, so okay, my philosophy, I might make people mad. My philosophy is a little bit different on this because okay, so here's the reason why I would charge for the raw footage. I would charge really only for storage purposes. So like, and this is what I did with one wedding. One person wanted to have, it's very rare that people actually really want all the random clips of video you got. I think typically what they're saying is they want the unedited like portions that you shot of something. That makes sense. Typically.
Mm.
But I basically had someone pay for a hard drive. So you can upcharge it if you want to, sell the hard drive if but basically I was like, get a hard drive. I charged them. I bought the hard drive. I put the footage on the hard drive and then gave it to him. And I think I don't even know if I really maybe I charged a little something for doing that, but it wasn't in my mind. I wasn't like, oh, I'm going to charge you because I'm giving you raw footage. I was charging for the hard drive, and then maybe I added a little something, which I don't even think I did necessarily for the last time I did it, because it really wasn't that crazy. But maybe I added a little something just because I had to load it load it up there. But for me, I'm like, unless you're gonna be like if you're looking at it from like a licensing standpoint, but that's not usually how I work. I know it's like
Mm.
from like the photography standpoint was to give me this, and then if you want more, come back and buy stuff, that type of thing. So that's kind of how it is for me.
Interesting. That because when I was I first started doing photography, I felt like they were like charging for the raw. You only get a 50 pictures, like especially in New York. I
Yeah,
was like,
yeah, I don't do
what kind of where's the
that.
creativity? I get you get the shots and then you might get some alternate, and it's just like, but after a while, I realized I need to stop overshooting though.
Yeah, yeah, that it
I
will
was
make.
definitely an overshooter.
Yeah, that's what I said. I don't think people say they want raw. I guess maybe possibly, but I don't think people really want all the blurry photos. You know what I mean? So I still will curate it. You know what I mean? So it's like there's only a few people. There's only like one person who I do that for, and that's my sister-in-law. Like I done like a lot of she does makeup, and she's a
Mm.
she does more than that. I'm making it sound like that's all she, but she's like a beautician. So she's licensed hair instructor doing hair. She did all that for years, and she's a makeup artist as well. And whenever she likes to, I know how she is, and she likes to do her own editing. So I don't even try to edit pictures I take for her anymore. I'm like, Casey, take them, do your thing. And because that's my family, that's my sister-in-law. I've been we know each other for years. I always make the joke, yeah, just don't post my bad pictures. But I know she's not doing that. So I'm like, here, you go through them, you do your thing. Same thing with my brother because he does a lot of social media stuff. So he'll go in. I know what he's doing. He's getting pictures for thumbnails. So he's gonna chop it up, cut himself out of the picture, do all this stuff. Y'all take the pictures, do what you want with them. I'm not gonna try to edit because I know y'all gonna do a specific thing with them.
Hmm.
I send them everything, but for other people, I'm still curating it. So I don't think I've ever sent anyone raw photos before, and I don't think I would, to be honest with you. I would probably if they because I'm giving them because I don't put a limit on what I give people anyway. I tell them
Hmm.
whatever I got and whatever I think is good, I'm giving you. I'm not because people ask if I charge for the photo per photo. I don't do that. I'm not saying that if that's how you want to work, then do your thing, but it's just not how I do it.
So they said how do you adjust your rates for a wedding?
How do I how do I adjust my rates for a wedding?
Hmm.
Um,
No,
I've
but not
packed.
as a we'll do it as a photographer and a videographer.
It's kind of the same now. I've gotten some to be pretty similar. Um, so I have packages essentially. It depends on what you're hiring me to do. So if I'm being hired as a second shooter, then I'm usually working within that person, the photographer's budget. So I just kind of, and then I'm not doing any editing or anything. But when I'm the main shooter, I'm factoring editing into it as well. So I'll break it out maybe and say like this is where all is included, but I'm not telling the bride and groom, I'm going to spend 24 hours editing this. You know what I mean? I basically build all that in to the hours that they're booking me for. So I charge more per hour for weddings than I do other projects. But that's because all the editing and everything is built into it already. Um, if I'm doing like for photography, if I'm doing different deliverables, I've done photo books, physical photo books before.
Hmm.
I charge, something for that, add that on, So um, I'm factoring into the fact that I have editing to do for pictures or for video. In the past, I've charged more for photography because I just feel like photographers just dominate the market. It's just like people expect to pay, which is funny because you'd be like, video is so much stuff you got to bring, all the stuff you got to do. But I just think for most people, they're used to paying more for photography and more willing to pay more for photographers than they are for video. I don't have to say, I think it's changing now. And now at this point, I don't do, they pretty much are similar. You're either paying for me to show up and shoot video or shoot photos, and I'm pretty much charging the same because I'm like at this point,
Mm.
I'm the same person doing the same work. So you know what I mean? And then sometimes the video might be a little bit more depending on what we're doing. If you're asking for a whole lot of different deliverables, you could end up charging more for I might end up charging you more for video at this point because of all the editing that I have to do.
And do you think about because like I have a certain my boy JR, and he's got in Garden Barber. He's one of the
Okay.
we got to a point where now I've learned him, and instead of being frustrated or things like that, I know he likes to put his own music to
Oh.
the stuff and put on social media. So we got to a point where I'll do an edit for him,
Mm-hmm.
and I just give him the edit with no sound because I know he's gonna put,
Gonna do it. Yeah.
he's gonna
You,
put music on it.
yeah. You have a different relationship with each one of your clients. You know how they work. And if you're gonna keep working with them, you just make the adjustment.
So, but somebody said, um, my cousin is a photographer and she's never done a wedding.
Mm,
She has about 11 or 12 years of experience,
mm,
but she still considers herself to be a beginner or novice.
mm.
At what point did you realize that you were a pro? We've had this discussion before.
Yeah, it's that's one of those ones that's tricky because it's not time based. 100% is not. I mean, some people would probably soon the numbers sound good. It's I've been doing this for 10 plus years, but you could have been doing something 10 plus years and never got any better. You know what I mean? It's
And be
just,
trash.
yeah, it's just the reality of the situation. It's not like I've been doing this for so long, so that means automatically, the way that I kind of have figured it out was how, for one, how you get responded to by your work, you know, the feedback you get. The other thing too is when you can look at your work and we kind of talked about this before, but like bump it up against other people. And I'm not saying compare to be like, oh my gosh, you know, but you can kind of look and see like you get to the point where you can train
Mm,
your eye, you can kind of tell if you're in the ballpark. You can be like, I'm on this level. Like, cause like, oh yeah, I can get these type of shots. And you know, like if you take it, I'm very critical of myself. So I feel like I've trained myself to the point to where I'm not going to be blinded because I thought this looked cool. Like I can objectively go back and look at it and say, this was really good, or I could have done this better, done that better. And I'm not quite on that level yet. So if I'm looking at other people, like I'm looking at Justin Porter, I'm not on his level.
mm,
It's not that I don't think I could never do it. I, for one, had never done it like he does it. So I'd have to
right.
see, be in a situation to see if I could do it. And if I'm not, I'm like, all right, I'm like a step but behind, but I'm not at the bottom. I can feel like I'm not at student level. I know that I might not be there. And I've been doing this for a long time, but he's in another echelon. So let me, if I'm trying to get to his level, maybe I'm not trying to get to his level. Maybe I'm chill with where I'm at. But then I'm like, okay, you know. But since to be simple about it, if people are paying you, I always say you're a pro. Even if your stuff isn't as good as somebody else, if you're getting paid to do it and you keep getting paid, you are a pro. But caveat I will add,
Yes.
you got to know each each subset within what you do is different. So you can be
Right.
really good at one type of photography and not that good at another. So
Mm,
just because you have years and years of experience, them brides don't care. They want to know that you can do a wedding. They don't care about whatever else you did. You might be able to convince. They want to know you know how to get through their wedding. So I'm gonna just say that, you know. So you might have to look at it as I need to treat myself as a beginner in this aspect. You know how to use a camera, so go in with confidence. But if you don't know how to do a wedding, you don't know how to do a wedding. So watch the videos to get yourself ready because it's different. Well, you know, it's different shooting weddings versus shooting something else. It's just different.
but that's how I realized I was like, I haven't considered myself a pro or even thought about, like my thinking about it is not like that. Yes, I am.
Mhm.
And everybody else tells me I am, but I'm, I see you don't see where I need to grow. And
Yeah.
so I'm constantly, you know, now the only time I start looking at myself as a pro when somebody starts telling me that I'm not, and you not even doing what you supposed to be doing
Yeah.
with your life. You
I'm
know what
not.
I'm saying? Like, oh, hold on now.
Yeah.
You know, the struggle is real said you need to become a pro when my money is involved. So this is a
That's true.
this is a question for Evelyn Richie. She's in music as well. But she says, since you're filming it and editing it, how are you choosing the music for it? Are you inserting your own beats or are you getting someone else?
When you say good, I'm not sure what they mean by getting
Are
someone
are
else.
are, are you are you inserting your own beats, or are you getting are you getting somebody else to
Oh, someone
do the
else's
music for?
music. Oh, I use stock sites, stock music sites. That's what I use. So yeah, I mean, if you are a musician and make your own stuff, then that's dope. You don't have to pay for a subscription to to like currently I use Epidemic Sound. And I've been liking them. Before, like when I did the other wedding that I did, I was using audio .com or something
Mm,
because they reached out to me and gave me like a free subscription. So and they said, hey, you could be an affiliate, yada yada yada. So I was like, all right, cool. So I used it, and I found some cool stuff. So they had like it wasn't a brand deal per se, but it was like they reach out to you like, hey, this code if whatever. So that's what I use though. I use stock music. I use that for everything on every level. Even though I'm doing our documentary feature films for work, I'm using Universal Production music site, which
oh
is
yeah.
technically a stock site. They make the libraries where you can use the music. You have to have licenses for it. But yeah, if you're a musician and you do your own stuff, then that's awesome. That might get time consuming though. I feel like if you had to do new music every time, but if that's the experience you're offering your client, I would definitely charge for that. If you're composing music yourself or you're going to hire
Right.
a composer, make sure that you're charging for that to cover your bases because yeah.
Because I was always looking, even like for the documentary, with Lust, the Lust documentary and
Mhm.
Cotton Barber. I would love to find, hey Alex, I would love to find, like a composer for for some
Mhm.
of the stuff that I have going on now. Before, because it's like as you're in this business, you start seeing yourself and you're like, you know what? I want to start making more custom stuff
Mhm. No, I
because
get that.
it's easy to stay in the
Mhm.
stock, which is not a problem. Hey,
Yeah.
it's been working, but to have somebody,
Mhm.
she said no. I'm charging them for everything.
Well, good on you for that.
Right.
Yeah, dog. If you charge them, then for sure. I tend to build things. I think about subscriptions. I will put in camera rental because I'm using my gear. So build a gear, the rental fee into that. So you want to cover yourself. Weddings are you make money doing them. They're cool. I think me and Will have been talking a lot. We're probably gonna be pushing to do more and stuff like that because if you're up for that grind, weddings can be fun too. You know. So
Yeah.
yep. If you
Especially,
if you want somebody, one of my friends, he used to live here, but just recently, him and his family recently just moved to Tennessee. Does He's a composer, so I can give you his contact if you're looking for somebody.
please. She said, I have somebody come in. This is Alex, and it's actually my Eve, and she's a producer. Like they're like um Alex and Evelyn, Eve, that and they are like they're in the business. They're fire. They're
Nice, that's what's
fire.
up.
So,
That's dope.
and but so I'm asking, do you have any questions, Alexa? So yeah. So what are do you have any questions or anything like that? Does your chat have any questions?
Nah,
Or
my
like I said,
chat
I'm
is
taking
being
over.
chill. It's probably 'cause I'm not talking about DaVinci Resolve stuff, so my chat's being a little like he ain't
Oh
talking to
yeah,
he ain't talking DaVinci Resolve tonight. That's
that.
all right. I wanted to do this video, so this is good. You need this part of it too to be a good editor. You need all of this part.
Yeah. Wow, that's interesting.
Yep.
So
If you
composer.
have if they have more questions, it's cool. I probably do have to hop off here in a bit.
Yeah.
Um. Oh yeah, no, yeah. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying I appreciate the
Oh, okay.
us the and please let us know in the comments if you want to see more of us coming together.
Yeah, for sure. Have to do
Um,
some more of these. This was fun.
so that was fun, especially talk with somebody who knows what they're talking about.
Same thing. It's cool to talk with people who are like-minded.
So what are you gonna? She says, do you use DaVinci for all your editing?
Unfortunately, no. I wish. Lord knows I wish I did. But no, at CBN, we are on Adobe Premiere, so I have to work on that. It's fine. Premiere's okay. I'm not paying for it, so they pay for it, so I'm chilling. If I had to pay for it, I wouldn't be using it. But yeah, no, for all my freelance weddings, everything I do outside of our day job, everything I do outside of that, I use DaVinci Resolve. But I did talk them into let me color grade in DaVinci Resolve. I was like, look, I need to color grade in DaVinci Resolve. He was like, all right, that's cool.
You can't beat that.
I was like, all right, y'all edited it, but you gotta please let me color grade in DaVinci Resolve because the stuff I be doing, yeah, no, absolutely not. The stuff they be having me do on my job, on our job, absolutely not. There's no
She's-
way.
She said, Evelyn said, Premiere is not good.
I,
I was
I
like,
agree with
"Kind,
you.
cool. it's
Uh,
well for coloring,
Trash.
for color.
It-
Dang.
people be trying to act like it's not, but it is. It's
I,
trash. They be at
is that,
Premiere
yeah.
users be like, oh, I can no, absolutely not.
Not you shutting them off. Premiere is no.
Not for color grade. Editing is cool, but it's not like Premiere. This is someone who's a hybrid user now. Premiere is
Right.
just to me has the market share, and we're so dependent upon them now that you really can't not use them because especially for a company that's built when companies build the whole systems around it, and then you
Yeah.
got Photoshop, and then you got After Effects and all this other stuff. But I mean, when you start going higher up the chain, people are using Avid Media Composer anyway. So I mean,
Yeah.
it's one of them things where it's like on the lower levels you can get away with that, but yeah,
But I just think it's like, and she said she did say something. She was like, I'm about to switch from Premiere to DaVinci because I don't want to pay for Adobe anymore. And that's the
well,
thing, like,
I got just the stuff for you. Hey, little plug to my channel, IBZ
please,
Films. I got you. If you need to go check it out.
please.
Because yeah, I did the same thing. I was tired of paying for it. I don't understand why independent artists do it to yourselves. If you work for somebody who's paying for it, then fine. But like, why are we continuing to pay for $30 a month or whatever, or probably more, $1,000 a year? It's a write-off. It's a write-off. Anytime I hear people say that, I'm like, okay, sure, but wouldn't you rather buy something else as a write-off?
My only issue is with my only issue with DaVinci is that I don't like the timeline of it. Like that's my only issue.
It's different, and I
It,
feel
it-
you. When
it's
I first switched, I
yeah.
felt the same. Most people it's hard, but once you get used to the flow, you're like, I'm good. I can do this. It's different. It is very different than Premiere. It really is a different like way to work your brain and think about how things work. Um, but it does do things a little bit faster, I will say. There are some things that are very different, and I give Premiere props for the way they organize things in certain ways and whatnot. But DaVinci Resolve does kind of simplify some things. And you get more built-in effects than you do within Premiere, and you have everything right there at your fingertips. You have your compositing with Fusion, your you're creating your graphics and your 3D stuff and everything like that. Your VFX work. You have your color right there. You're not jumping between different apps. So that's what I like about it.
Yeah.
And they
And
keep doing updates for free. I mean, yeah, to get the studio version, there's like a one-time charge, but you can edit it in DaVinci Resolve on the free version and probably be perfectly fine.
oh man. And that's the thing. Like if DaVinci, like if DaVinci comes out and because you know how you can change your keyboard structure to different,
Hmm.
but if DaVinci ever did that,
Like to make one for Premiere.
Yeah, because in Premiere you can choose Avid,
They
Final
have
Cut
that in
Pro, like the
there.
key.
It's in there.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's in there. You can you can switch it to do that. Let me double check, make sure I'm not telling you something wrong.
Yo, Denzel, I'm going.
Let's see. Let me make sure I'm not telling you wrong, but I'm pretty
You,
sure.
bro, if I can get the timeline like
Yeah, Adobe Premiere.
and
For keyboard customization, yeah, you can switch it to Adobe Premiere. The timeline is always going to look different. That's just that's just part of the fact that it's just a different program. But
I don't like the timeline. I just don't because that's my only thing.
you should
Like
watch it. I should have made one of these. Maybe I will one day. But watch videos on switching from Adobe Premiere to DaVinci Resolve.
Yes.
Um, so I might need to make that thing on. I've thought about it. I've just been procrastinating it because I didn't feel like doing it. But maybe I will do that one day for Premiere users, how to switch to DaVinci Resolve.
Oh, she said, "Yo, Denzel, do you want to host a class on DaVinci Basics?" And he has a lot of videos on his channel, a whole bunch of them on DaVinci. So they're already there
Hmm.
on his channel.
Yeah,
She
yeah,
said,
for sure.
so I mean, but if you want to host like I don't know, a Zoom
Or
session or
like a
whatever,
Zoom.
and
Okay,
we can do it on thing like
okay. I could think about
asking
that.
for all the broke people in the chat.
Well, I definitely would say go to my channel and check it
Yeah.
out. You might find enough stuff there. If you want something more extensive, I have to get my schedule together for something like that. But I mean, I'm willing to talk about it, to discuss the possibility of doing something like
Yeah.
that.
Well, I know you gotta go. It's time.
This
Thank you
was
so
great.
much, Denzel,
Thank you,
for
bro.
inviting me.
This
I
was good.
appreciate you. Yeah,
Definitely do
it was
more of
really
these for
good.
sure. But
Yeah.
yeah, this has been a blast, and thank you everyone for being here. And even those who didn't stick around, it's all good. And I'm not gonna be mad at y'all. That's all chilling. But until next time, this is Denzel and Will signing out. Catch y'all later. Peace.
Peace.
Cool, cool, cool.
Hold on one second. Let me. Okay, guys, I will check you guys later. I put the thing in the chat. Host a leaving premiere entering our DaVinci era.
Yeah,
We'll
this
definitely
is
do
real.
that.
The switch is real. I remember one time I just dove into it. I just forced myself. I said I'm going, and I just canceled Premiere. It was when I was in between projects, and I just made the jump and just went for it. And and it was hard. Like it wasn't easy to switch because it was like my brain was used to how things worked in Premiere. But yeah, it's possible you can do it.
Anything's possible.
The Kevin Garnett.
All right, guys. We'll check you later. We'll let you know when we're gonna do another live again. It should be soon. And thank you guys for being here. Hope you